Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Star Wars Stuff Podcast, where we talk all things Star Wars. My name is Colin.
My name's David.
And my name is Matt.
And we have a couple of things to talk about. Nothing really major happened, except we got our first guest announced at Star Wars Celebration. The new Kestis Lightsaber is at Galaxy's Edge, and there's a new book that has just been announced. It's coming out in June, and that is called The Shadow of the Sith. So let's dive right into it. I can barely read, so I don't think I'm the good, the best person to talk about. No, just kidding.
News
so Shadow of the Sith. This book is going to be taking place between the events of Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, and it's the story that was kind of hinted at The Rise of Skywalker, of where Lando and Luke were looking for Exegol. But something that Luke did not tell Rey and them is that Luke actually went to Exegol, and the whole chapter, like part of the chapters that is in the book, was released in StarWars.com, and I'm just gonna read the final part of that chapter. It's pretty crazy, but the blue figure lifted his hood back to reveal the strong, sharp face of a young man, his gaze intense beneath a furrowed brow that was bisected by straight vertical scar. His thick hair was shoulder length and had a slight wave to it. Anakin Skywalker reached out his hand. Luke took it, and everything went white. That's nuts. That's crazy. Really, really cool, but crazy. And for the rest of the chapter, like in the beginning of it, Luke was fighting. They're called Wraiths. So I don't know if Lord of the Rings is now tied in. No, I'm just kidding. No, but
the tanks from Halo.
But it's funny because it is kind of a Lord of the Rings reference because there's 9 Wraiths that he's fighting. And they are faceless. And the fight is described as like Luke is fighting something but nothing, and he is on like this Sith home world, like it's like dark, it's
Exegol, right?
Yeah, it's crazy, like it's crazy, and Anakin saves him at the last second. All of them disappear, and then Anakin like extends his hand out and like pulls him up, and then it fades into white, and we don't know what happens after that. But yeah. Luke and Anakin are reunited in that way, and that's pretty cool. And this is taking place. It sounds like it's taking place after the events of Mando, of the Mandalorian in the Book of Boba Fett, because of we also kind of get so in Mandalorian season 2, there's a planet Tython of where Grogu goes and he goes on the Seeing Stone. Luke talks about him going to Tython and being on the Seeing Stone, and he compares it like to the moment where he's fighting these guys, where it's like I haven't felt a moment like this since I was there. It's like, oh, interesting.
Wow. And it seems like that whole scene where Anakin helps out, it seems to like harken back to what all the fans were hoping that we got at the end of Rise of Skywalker when they're helping out Rey, but we didn't.
Gosh.
We got the voices, but we didn't get the actual physical. I guess it's ironic to say physical Force ghosts. But
and then the other thing is, it's not like Hayden was like, I want no part of it. Hayden clearly has been wanted to be part of Star Wars for a very long time. Because if you even go back to the launch of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, he was like, I would love to be the voice of Anakin in the Clone Wars show, and they said no to him. And then they had Matt Lange.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then his career went a different path, but all things led him back to Anakin, because on May 25th we are going to see him back in the suit, and it's going to be it's going to be crazy.
Hot.
Yeah.
Something way I can describe it.
So with all these novels coming out, I think I really wish of just seeing this chapter, like of just reading it. I wish that was part of the leaked show that we keep hearing about, which is like the Tales of a Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that was part of it. Because how cool would it be to see Mark Hamill and Hayden actually work together?
Very cool.
Oh my gosh, man. That.
Yeah, I haven't heard any leaks or rumors in regards to Tales of the Jedi. It seems like that might be possibly something animated. I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. But yeah, it seems like the whole grammar rodeo thing is really kind of all the rage under the leak category. And it's apparently shooting in Culver City in California. But we don't really necessarily know what characters are going to be in it. Apparently there's a Stranger Things vibe since there's going to be a younger cast. But I don't think anything else has kind of dropped. So.
And something else about it too is like there's so much time between Return of the Jedi and Rise and Force Awakens. So I'm really curious of what other books and projects will come out. We are getting that new Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan book soon, I believe, as well, because of it will be continuing. Actually, you know what? Nope. I'm lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the Sabe thing.
I knew it. I knew you were lying. I was like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, I know. I was like, wait, what am I talking about? I don't know. I'm sorry about that. Whoops. Anyways, will we see Darth Vader and Kenobi episode 1? I'm hoping so. I'm really, really hoping so. I'm calling it right now. I'm really hoping that we see like Darth Maul in like as a cameo where he's locked up in a cell and Vader just goes and talks to him. I want that so bad. Because of having Maul not included in Kenobi in any way is just kind of a missed opportunity. And Ray Park, can just be sitting in the cell, and then Sam Witwer can just do the voice, and they can have like a 3-minute conversation, and everyone would be freaking out of having like the two, like one past apprentice, and then one like current apprentice talking to each other, and they both share the same hatred for Obi-Wan. So I think that would be very, very interesting. Hey, Liam, what's up, man?
Talking about like Ray Park never being a part of the Star Wars universe again after that whole scandal, and just the idea of him being back. I don't know, because like I just remember what was it, like 2 years ago now?
Yeah,
it was when it first happened. We're like, wow, he's done. He's never going to work in Star Wars again.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true. I think he will come back.
He's definitely still active in this field.
I think the whole like kind of scandal thing is a little overblown.
I totally forgot about that until Matt says something.
Yeah, I mean, he came to my part of Texas and he signed all kinds of stuff, and it didn't seem like anything really fazed him. And I haven't heard any rumblings about that having any type of effect on him coming back to the show. He's been brought back for Clone Wars season 7. Mocap work. And I'm pretty sure he'll be at Celebration. He was at Celebration 2017. I remember that. I remember Colin and I in line, and we saw him drive by us in a golf cart, and the audience just erupted. And he's great, by the way. If you meet him, he is super great to talk to. He will talk to you at length. You can talk to him pretty much about anything. I've brought it up in so many podcasts before where I brought up Crimson Dawn, and he just kind of stopped talking and just like looked at me, and I'm like, oh, did I bring up something that you're maybe working on, or something that that's under the covers there? But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you're a listener or watcher right now, the whole scandal was just pictures on Instagram. And I mean, anyone can be hacked. Anyone can post something if they have your password. So, I mean, I don't know. That's pretty much what it amounts to, just pictures. So it's not a big deal. And he didn't talk about Lucasfilm or Disney in any negative way. So it's just one of those things. But yeah, he's an awesome guy to meet, though. He gave me a bunch of autographs. He took multiple pictures with me. I mean, I mean, I think he loves the fact that he was Darth Maul and a part of Star Wars. He's an actual Star Wars fan that got to be incorporated into the Star Wars legacy, and I think he's a great dude. And if he ever comes around your part of the country or the world, definitely go out and meet him, talk to him, and he's totally down to talk to you, answer what he can answer. And it was so cool that he was in Solo. He was at the end. It was such a shock.
That was so unexpected, man. I remember that. I heard the voice. I was like, there's no way that is like Sam Witwer doing Maul. And then we just saw him take off the cloak. And I remember the private screening, like some people were there like as we were about to launch, and they're like, no, but I gotta go home, it's too late. So I watched Solo in a theater by myself, like a couple of nights before the movie actually like came out to the public. And I remember sitting there, and when that happened, I just got out of my seat and just started pacing the theater. I was like, what? Like, no way. Like Kira and him and Crimson Dawn, what's going on with that? And then boom, like that was it. But that was such a cool reveal because it was so unexpected and no one saw it coming.
We've gone so long without answers. That's the worst part.
And that's one of my favorite behind the scenes stories too, because Sam Witwer was there voicing Darth Maul, and they were kind of wondering, okay, well, what should Maul do with his lightsaber potentially in that scene? And at first they were thinking about using his double-bladed, and Sam Witwer actually spoke up. He was like, well, wait a minute. At this point in the timeline, he wouldn't have that saber, and he basically had to teach everyone on set the fact that he would have that particular lightsaber that he does end up igniting on screen. And people on set didn't know. They didn't have that backstory.
That's
that, of
crazy.
Course, yeah. So, I mean, you look at a situation like that for a company as big as Lucasfilm, it's like people need to kind of speak up and not just assume that people that are in those roles actually know the right thing to do.
So in the timeline, Solo takes place how many years before the events? It takes place 5? 5 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith?
Let me think about that.
Hang on. Just keep talking. I'll look it up.
I'm going to talk about stuff.
Star Wars stuff.
That's our name. That's our name of our podcast.
You know, I think after last year, it's not possible for me to recall timeline stuff anymore because there's just so much of it, and I have to like stop to actually think what happens. Okay, RFB coming in the clutch. Solo is 10 years, he says.
Oh.
Jesus. What are you, a boat starting out?
Well, Revenge of the Sith is 10 years. So
what? Where are you going with this?
Well, depending on where Obi-Wan goes, like if he goes to that planet, I guarantee there's crime there.
Or
Crimson Dawn could probably be on that planet of that scene where like Obi-Wan is wearing the cloak and it looks like Nar Shaddaa, but it's not. I could see like Crimson Dawn being there and maybe Maul sensing a presence and like he's like, no, it can't be Obi-Wan, like no way. And like of just a small cameo like that, I think that would be really, really cool. Like of Maul just having some type of interaction with it would be super sick. But if Solo is happening around the same time as
Kenobi.
Yeah, as Kenobi. It's just like that's
Kenobi.
That's interesting.
Yeah, around the time of Kenobi, Maul is the crime lord of Crimson Dawn. So,
what was that?
I think my laptop just played an ad from Star Wars that I had to.
Okay.
I was like,
Star Wars or American Graffiti? I don't know.
But yeah, so boom, there you go. All right, cool. So with that being
RFB right here has a good point on YouTube watching the Crimson Dawn stories in the comments So will not be in live action. I've noticed the fact that if they put it in the comics, they're not gonna put it in live action, which is
what you say is true from a certain point of view because of Kanan's story was a whole comic book series, and now his entire like story, like his comic book story is retconned because of the opening of the Bad Batch series.
Right, but what he's saying is if they have like a whole arc or a whole story that's in the comics, they're not going to reproduce that thing on a 1-to-1 scale in live action.
Well,
I see that.
Well, I'm not saying we would see like a whole episode about Crimson Dawn. I'm saying we would see like a cameo of Crimson Dawn in Maul.
Yeah, but I mean,
well,
how much does Crimson Dawn really play into the Kenobi story?
It could be a cameo.
We don't think much. It could be. I mean, there could be a mention. There could be some like members. I mean, that
is what a cameo is, David.
Right. But I mean, we're not gonna get. I think because I think the thing that I thought we were alluding to was like a Crimson Dawn series type thing.
Oh no, I know that was talked about for years. If they ended up doing, because everyone's campaigning for Solo 2, I don't think that's necessary. I mean, I thought the film was great. I loved it, but it was not necessary. I don't think it could bring in audiences. Like,
you guys are really falling down the rabbit hole. How did we even get to Crimson Dawn?
Because it's Star Wars stuff, man.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. It doesn't
matter. We have 3 topics to talk about, and we're like, the Crimson Dawn will be Kenobi.
So, and it's really funny, which we'll talk about the new lightsaber for Cal Kestis, and we'll talk more about Jedi Fallen Order. But there are a lot of tie-ins from Jedi Fallen Order to Kenobi, especially with the Sith Inquisitors. There is the planet Nur, which you play in Jedi Fallen Order.
I like that planet name.
There's a lot, there's a lot of like tie-ins into it. But I really want to see Cal Kestis, and you know what? I think we could see Cal Kestis maybe in the Endor series. I could definitely see that happening.
You really want to see him?
Oh wow! Oh my goodness! Wow, there he is! I can't believe I'm seeing him. Crazy. But that is so cool, guys. Like
all I can see is just like the kid from Shameless just holding a lightsaber.
I see the Joker.
I also see the Joker from Gotham. Yeah.
So notice he's not smiling.
No, he's got this weird, creepy, like Mona Lisa smile.
Well, that and rumor has it that when he was building his own lightsaber, that he reached for the red, is what David said.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
Being in the same group chat.
Wow, crazy. Our one sources
say.
Sources say it was really David. But okay, I guess we're just gonna talk about the Cal Kestis lightsaber thing. Okay. So I held the lightsaber today. I actually got to like see it and stuff. And
what'd you feel
surprisingly, it was not sold out. I thought it would have been sold out, but I talked to the guy over at Docs, and he was like, most likely by the end of the day it will be sold out. I was like,
how many did you buy, Colin?
I didn't buy any.
You bought 4.
I just looked at it. I didn't buy it, surprisingly.
You held it.
But it is for $159.
And I'm already looking at it on eBay right now for $300.
145, like 345, 475. People were that desperate. I'm like, guys, chill. But what's nice is that you can buy 2 of them and they can connect together. I know, crazy.
2 broken, put together making one.
And it also comes with a connector piece, so that you can put them together. But something that that I was talking about with my coworker Jonah, shout out to him. He had a great idea, which I don't know why I didn't think of it. I don't know why no one has thought of this, but they should have added the compartment of where you could put a kyber crystal in it. Because the lightsaber can be any color that you want in the game, why not add that compartment? Because then they could have sold more, like
another reason to buy those.
Yeah. And have a reason to buy the kyber crystals. And they didn't do that, and I'm so surprised. I didn't think of that. So kudos to you, Jonah. Yeah, but yeah.
Do you guys remember when we first initially had the votes for those which lightsaber to pick?
It was down to like Qui-Gon Jinn's lightsaber, which was really high up there, which I think is really, really cool. Because
I mean, it's a pretty basic lightsaber. It's not the coolest looking, but like the character, it's cool.
But that's the reason why it was cool though, because of it was like a flashlight. It like honestly was like a flashlight. Like,
but Lord Corvux from Vader Immortals, though, you remember that one?
Ugh, like
it looked like something.
It just looked like way too much. I would not add it to my collection.
Like I couldn't even describe. It's like almost not even Star Wars. It's like
dude.
This whole like almost Lord of the Rings like hilt for like some weird elven blade.
Some kind of Elden blade.
Yeah, but like I remember like there was also like Kanan Jarrus, which was I remember his being pretty okay.
That would have been cool because of you can actually take like the top off, and then because of the way that he like actually used his lightsaber for the first time in Rebels, like he took it apart, put it together, and like ignited it, and I remember the reaction of Callus where he was just like, "Focus your fire on the Jedi," and then we were like, "Oh my gosh, there's a Jedi!" What? But
and then it was Ezra Bridgers too, but not the blaster one. It was just
I know. I honestly think they should do the blaster one. I think that would be really, really cool.
I know they sell like a cheap plastic version of it.
Yeah,
I think a legacy lightsaber like that would be so cool.
Yeah, that honestly would be really, really cool to have.
Yeah, pew pew pew.
But for Jedi Fallen Order, apparently the sequel is going to be coming out this year. And apparently there is going to be a panel at Star Wars Celebration. I will definitely be there for that because I love that
and our
game.
patron Liam just finished the game as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I also I know Josh really wants this to happen too, but like I really, 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 really want to see Cal Kestis live action. I know.
I think everybody's asking for that.
Yeah. I thought, like, no joke, a lot of people thought that the Jedi that was going to show up in the season finale of Mando season 2 would be Cal, and that would have been the coolest thing. Like, I like Luke Skywalker, hands down, was great, but Cal Kestis, I feel like, would have been a huge tie-in to the game because of that's just a huge thing to have. Because I remember when Force Unleashed came out, and it's like, oh, it'd be so cool, and it would be so cool to see his character actually interact with actual live action like characters like Leia and Luke, like he did in the game, like he interacted with these like different characters from the movies, and then it's like now that they are actually having it where the games are falling into the canon timeline. They have that chance, and with the technology they have now, Cal could definitely talk to Luke and at some point, and he could definitely talk to Obi-Wan and all these characters. So they need to make it happen. They honestly would bring a lot more people in. Funny enough, though, a lot of people that like the character Cal Kestis, I keep talking to people that I work with and I know, and they're like, I haven't finished the game yet, so I feel like a fake fan, so I can't buy the lightsaber. And I'm like, but I just heard you talk about him, like how much you love the character. He's like, well, of what I played with him in the game. I was like, oh, okay. Like, interesting. But I think he will definitely be in live action soon. I would rather have him in Kenobi than Andor, but I could see him being in Andor because of the whole like of Cal wanting to do more for the galaxy. So I could see him not being on the run as much. When he's with Andor, then in Kenobi he would still kind of be undercover and stuff.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see some Jedi other than Kenobi in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hopefully we get Cal Kestis. That would be cool. And it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, you cast an actor who does TV shows. I mean, it's like, why wouldn't you add him in these very opportune times? And it seems like, well, maybe they didn't do it because of that. They didn't actually make that casting choice due to the fact they would add him in later. Or maybe they did, and they just decided not to use him. I don't know. It's like he's almost like on an option type of contract situation. But to answer Liam's question on YouTube, if you have any news on Jedi Fallen Order 2, I don't think there's much. I know Colin just said there's probably going to be a panel. And I think we're kind of expecting that because other than Kenobi, what's the other big thing they're going to talk about? Unless it's like stuff that we just don't know about yet. Which I think we're kind of halfway expecting that we're going to get some huge announcements in less than 2 months.
Yeah, so what's happening right now is they're slowly starting to announce the guests, and as they're doing that, we'll also get the information on the panels and stuff. They haven't announced if they're doing the lottery system. They have not announced that yet.
You think they would, because I mean we're kind of.
I know, but I'm really hoping they don't. I was just talking to James about this, and he sent me that scene from The Office where Michael Scott's like, "No, God, please, no, no, no!" Like I despised it. I hate the lottery system. I think it's dumb. I always go back to the moment, like no disrespect to Star Wars Celebration at all, but I will say that it's not fair.
Just feedback.
It's just a random system, and that's fine. But you were getting people who were just applying for it that really don't want certain panels, and they end up getting it. Because I remember, like, of the story that David always says, where he gets to the episode 9 panel, he sits down, and the people lean over to him, and they're like, "Is this a big deal?" It's like, "Are you kidding me? There are so many other people that want to be at that panel, and you got no. Like it's yes, it sounds like I'm coming out of jealousy, but it's also like that doesn't.
He's
make
like,
sense.
yes, it is that, but it's also this.
Yeah,
I totally agree.
Because
speaking of someone who's never been there, for someone to have the opportunity to get to experience those things.
I
mean, whatever.
If you want to be there, camp out in line. Like I'm sorry to the people that don't like camping out in line. I really apologize to those people, but honestly, it's 100% worth it. And just think about all the friends that you will make in line. Like I met David there. This podcast would not exist. I know I'm a broken record. I know, but still, like it's just it's just.
I'm a DJ.
I really hope they don't do the lottery system. I will be so disappointed again. And and I think that might.
To play devil's advocate here, I've made that argument to other people, and other people bring up stuff that I don't think we've necessarily kind of contemplated. But I mean, there's
what? Tell me.
People with disabilities.
Give me the pros. Give me the cons.
Yeah. But I mean, they have special cues for people that aren't able-bodied. So there's an argument for that. Older fans, people of a certain age that can't sleep on the hard concrete floor, where they outlaw beds and couches, even though they do magically show up in line.
Yeah,
which is weird.
They have people coming.
I remember a lot of people had those like giant inflatable kind of hammock stuff. Like, do you?
Yeah, I actually bought one after a 2017 celebration.
Oh, you did?
You
nice.
run with it, and you use the wind that you capture, and then you close it really fast, and then it becomes like a makeshift hammock style bed type situation.
I remember for me, I had a sleeping bag and I had one of those stools, and then after a while, I was like, I'm not carrying this thing around, and I just left it somewhere. I think I gave it to someone. I was like, hey, dude. I like spent like $25 on this. I don't want to carry this anymore. Like standing in line, I'm a pro at this point. Here, take it. They were like, really? Thank you. And I was like,
yeah. I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep a wink. I tried, but I just couldn't do it. I was just like looking around the whole time. It was basically Christmas.
Yeah,
and I'm blessed. I can sleep anywhere. I'll sleep anywhere.
Because I knew
any condition, rock concert.
I knew that bucket list stuff was about to happen. I was pretty sure that we're going to see Harrison Ford in person.
Yeah,
not John Williams. I mean, that was like a cherry on top.
That was an experience of a lifetime. Like Harrison Ford and them, I figured would show up. George Lucas was a pipe dream. I was like, that made me. I can't believe I was in the same room as him and Harrison Ford, all of them. But when John Williams like showed up, like when everyone was getting ready to go, and they dropped that curtain, and then we were like, and he just like put his finger up and was like, shh. And then he just started playing Leia's theme. I died. I was like, this is my childhood dream. oh my God. And everyone was freaking out. And the whole experience was surreal. And I don't know if they could ever top a moment like that again. Like, it would be really hard to top a moment like that.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the greatest panel of all time.
No, that is probably one of my favorite Star Wars stories to tell, because no one. Okay, so without John Williams, Star Wars wouldn't be as good, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of
that, like, music, all those soundtracks, like all of it combined, it's like you can't put any other tune to the opening crawl. Like, you cannot beat that main theme. That main theme, like, trumps all. Like, it's phenomenal, and I could not imagine it being any different. I could not imagine any other artist trying to tackle it. And even these artists that are doing Star Wars movies like Solo and Rogue One, where it wasn't John Williams, it was like, you know, Star Wars was there, like the theme, it had that Star Wars vibe, but it wasn't like really Star Wars. And then you jump into the sequels, and it's like, this is John Williams. Like, there's a decent amount of like songs in the Last Jedi soundtrack that I even like that I really, really enjoy. And
he's like, that's a surprise. He's like,
yeah,
even in the Last Jedi,
in the Last Jedi, John Williams did great. So it's like those moments are going to be hard to beat, and you really can only have those moments at Star Wars Celebration. Like, it's phenomenal. So I'm going to take a guess on what panels they're going to have. They'll have a Kenobi one, and I think at the Kenobi panel we will
Celebration bingo now.
Well, yeah. No, I was just saying about that. No, so all right, Kenobi at that panel.
Kenobi,
and we will also have like at that panel, like after all the actors and stuff are talking, we will either get a trailer for the rest of the season that we'll see first before the rest of the world, or we will actually get to see the second episode. But,
okay, so if I was president of Lucasfilm, I would definitely show an episode.
Yeah, because they have done that for the final season of Star Wars Rebels. They actually showed like the first two episodes. I believe it was the first two episodes of season 4, or it was one episode. I forget.
And you were there at that panel, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was geeking out. But I think they should do that. I think that would be really, really cool. I think we will get an actual we will get a panel for the Andor series. We will get a panel for the Droids show coming out with Anthony Daniels. He's been traveling a lot, bro. He's been traveling a lot. He's been taking pictures in some exotic places. I think that show's going to be live action, and I think it's going to be really, really cool.
It feels like there's not many people in the world that love life more than Anthony Daniels.
Yeah, and he loves that character. Like he really is that character. Like,
he will come. Speaking of lines, he will come out during Celebration through the lines and like shake hands and talk to people. Maybe not shake hands so much anymore, but he'll come through and be like, "Hey, what's up, everyone? How's your trip? What are you doing right now? To pass the time."
Yeah, no, I think we'll have that. I think we'll have a panel for the Taka Waititi film, that's coming out. We'll have something for Bad Batch season 2. We'll have something for the new Star Wars games, books, and then the actors usually have like their own panels. Like, I guarantee there will be another all girls, like,
Women of Star Wars.
Yeah, like panel.
Or Women of the Galaxy.
Yep. And
I really want to see Kevin Feige in person on stage. That would be great.
So something that I really want to see is them do, because of there's so many stories from the Clone Wars that never actually got to get finished animated, and like stories that were written. I would like to see like something about like the untold stories again, because if they like kind of did that for season 6, but then they changed it to, hey, this is just season 6. But like I want it to be where we get that arc of Darth Maul because of it's called the Son of Dathomir, and it got turned into the Son of Dathomir got turned into a comic book series. But that was such a cool comic book series, to where near the end of it, it's Maul versus Count Dooku versus the Emperor versus General Grievous, and then Mother Talzin comes in too, and you're just like, wait, what's going on? So that was a whole thing. And then you also have the story of where Asajj Ventress falls in love with Quinlan Vos, and that's a cool story too. And we also see the Bad Batch actually get to go to Kashyyyk, and then like that, all of that kind of stuff, and then including the one scene that everyone wanted to see live action, which was Cad Bane versus Boba Fett. So there is so much potential for Celebration as well. I'm really hoping that we end up getting something like that. We end up getting a Bad Batch Season 2 panel. And of course there will be the Attack of the Clones 20th anniversary panel.
I ordered one of the hats.
There you go.
I'll be wearing that. And also the listeners, man. The listeners at Celebration.
Mm-hmm.
Come up to us, say hi.
We're going to have stuff. Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have
get your stuff
to hand you if you approach us. Only if you approach us,
If you sprint at us, we might not give you stuff.
Yeah. I'm not walking up to you, man. You have to walk up to me. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask Matt, what is he anticipating at Celebration the most? What are you most looking forward to?
Season 3 of Mando 2. Forgot
about that. So this being my first experience, it's difficult for me to comprehend what to expect. But based off of the experiences that I've had with regular cons and having no the types of people that go to these cons are the same type of people that will be at Star Wars Celebration, but they have an all equal love for like one particular thing, and like an entire like con focused on one particular genre or category of film such as this. I think will be very immersive. I think that I'm going to be overwhelmed. I think that I'm going to drain my pocketbook on merchandise. I think that I need to pack lightly with large gaps in my luggage so that I can bring all of my stuff home.
Yeah.
I think that I'm going to meet a lot of people that have the same similar as me. And, people that listen to the podcast, I hope we meet a lot of people that are like that.
There's also the podcast meetup as well. That's going to be happening. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Matt.
That's fine.
They are what? That's going to be happening on the first night, David?
Yes, the very first night, because Star Wars Night at Disneyland is happening the second night, which they didn't want to contradict and cross schedules with that. So, yeah, you will be able to go and meet just about every single podcast that goes to Celebration at the Anaheim Hilton. That is the closest Hilton to the convention center. It's just a short walk away, and we will be there. And if you want to meet us there as well, right after Celebration ends, I believe at 7 p.m., you can just walk on over to the bar lounge area at the Hilton in Anaheim, and we will be there as well.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see everyone. There's also the guests that they already announced, and there's already the guests that we're already predicting that are going to be there. But the people that are actually going to be there so far, like the people they announced, are maybe. We've got Ashley Eckstein, Anthony Daniels, and Ian McDermott. Very, very cool. Ahsoka, C-3PO, and the Emperor himself. And then you also have Doug Chang and
Steve Sansweet from Rancho Obi-Wan.
Thank you.
Who has been there for many, many years. He has the largest Star Wars collection in the world. And he does have a few of those prototype Holy Grail Boba Fett Kenner action figure that I think they're worth. I'm not quite sure how much they're worth now. I think someone bought one for close to like $1 million or something.
Oh, that was wow. Never mind.
But yeah. And Rancho Obi-Wan, I believe, is in Petaluma, California, and you can actually schedule tours And I was actually thinking about maybe driving up there. I'll be driving from South Texas to Celebration, so I'll have my vehicle. So, yeah, if we need to go
Why don't you tell
anywhere.
everyone what that vehicle is so they know where to find you? He drives a Ford Mustang.
No, I actually drive
Shelby.
I don't think there's any harm in telling people what I drive. It's a red Toyota Corolla hybrid.
Yeah.
And you'll see a bunch of Star Wars stuff like
well, now
on
people
it.
know. Now people know when and then
track is down on the road.
It's like every car that's like parked in the parking lots. Like they all got like different Star Wars things on there. But
you think a rival podcast is gonna like slice my tires?
So
like Star Wars is like you're not going anywhere.
So I'm hoping to see Jim Cummings there. I really want to see Hondo himself. Because of right now, I'm trying to organize a group to go like and have a meetup so we can go over and just go talk to him because we see him every day. Like we hear his voice every day. So it'd just be funny, like just to see him there.
You'd be like, hey, we all work for you.
Hello, my friends. Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah.
You haven't been paying us, Hondo.
Yeah, I know. Like there's like so many lines that we could do that would be really, really funny. But
have you asked him to be on the podcast?
Jim Cummings?
Yeah.
I don't think he's on social media, is he?
He's not? Huh.
Yeah. As far as I know, I don't think he's on social media.
Email his agent. Yeah.
Yes, I will just pull up their number right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah.
Look it up in the phone book.
Yeah. Yes, because
Yellow Pages, here we come.
Yeah. Yellow Pages. No, but yeah, no,
Blue Pages.
Hayden, Ewan will be there. I think Natalie Portman would be a great like cameo to show up for Attack of the Clones. Like at that panel, for her to show up and see those three together again, people would lose it, man. Like, oh my gosh. Sam Jackson, possibly.
That'd be nice to see him there.
Yeah.
But he's always so busy.
Right, but what's nice is that now it's like it's in California, so it's next to like everything, and you're also in the heart of a celebrity town. Like this is where a lot of those like the celebrities are. Like they're all in LA. So
I don't think Sam Jackson is an LA guy though. I think he's more of like an southeast.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm kind of like a Boulder, Colorado kind of dude to me.
Yeah. yeah. I don't know. I feel like he's more someone.
He gets out there in nature.
Yeah, but no, I think we'll definitely see people that will like kind of like how we saw like Harrison Ford and George Lucas, where they were not listed as going, and then they ended up showing up. I think they would do that again, but like, do you think they'll have like a panel for like a show or a movie that they haven't announced yet?
Yes.
What do you think it would be though?
I'm pretty sure Rogue Squadron is gonna have a panel.
Okay.
Ooh.
And they're gonna show a bunch of pre-production stuff and kind of get the hype going for it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, 2023 Christmas is not that far away, and apparently they haven't shot anything yet. And it's getting late in the game, so a lot of people are thinking that it's actually not going to happen. But Disney has firmly planted their flag for December 2023 for a Star Wars film to come out. 2023, 2025, 2027. So, and every other year is an Avatar film. So, a Star Wars film has to come out.
Well, we'll hold them to it. And I hope
we'll hold them to it.
I hope that you're right. That we see something.
I was also holding. Telltale Games, the release of Lego Star Wars, on time. Well, guess what? It's been delayed.
And what do you know? I mean, they're releasing it
finally.
After many podcasts.
I am excited. I'm excited. It comes out next week, so I'm over the moon.
If you want to find Colin, he will be in front of the Xbox.
Yeah, yes, he took 3 days off of work.
Oh no, I did not.
He only took 2.
I took 4. No, I'm just
took 2 sick days and 1 PTO, 1 personal day.
I actually
I get 6 of these every year, and I'm gonna use 4 of them.
But yeah, no, it's a big year for Star Wars. There is going to be a lot happening. If you ever want to be in the mood for Star Wars, go to Galaxy's Edge.
I always want to be in the mood for Star
Go
Wars.
and read, Star Wars books. Rewatch the Clone Wars. Rewatch Rebels. Just rewatch the movies.
Subscribe to Disney Plus.
Yeah, just do that. Like anything Star Wars really will get you in the mood for it. Because of no joke, the beginning of this year, I was like, I'm gonna just start rewatching the complete Star Wars series, of episode 1, 2, Attack of the Clones, 3, Bad Batch, Jedi Fallen Order. After I play that game, I go to Solo. After Solo, so on and so forth. So I'm playing I'm going full out with the
chronological Star Wars.
Yes, I'm going.
Across
I'm diving
all
deep.
media
I'm diving deep into it, and
you're including video games. I've done this before, but I've never included video games in this.
Yeah. So I just got done with Bad Batch. I started replaying Jedi Fallen Order again.
What about Battlefront 2's campaign with?
Yes. So I'm very specific about that. I got it down. So it goes Empire Strikes Back. Then you jump over to the first mission of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then you watch the movie. You get to the part where the bunker explodes, and then you play that mission of where you're on Endor and you escape, and then you watch the rest of Return of the Jedi, and then you play the entire like the rest of the Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign.
Oh wow, you're doing it all.
Oh yeah, and then after that, then you watch season 1, season 2 of Mando, and then you watch the only season of the Book of Boba Fett so far, and then you
watch season 2.5 of Mandalorian,
and then you play the second portion of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and that leaves you. And well, actually, no, it goes Resistance. That first. The first portion of the second part of the campaign of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then you watch Force Awakens, and then you play the last part of that campaign of Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then you go to the last Jedi.
Continues.
But yes, it's very, very intense.
And then
you
listen to episode 1 of the Star Wars Stuff podcast on your favorite podcast.
And then you just keep going on and on from there. But no, guys, there is so much content to keep you occupied. And then you have the new Lego Star Wars game where you can play it all through the entire saga, which is really, really, really cool. Around 300 characters to play. You can customize your characters. You can free roam. It's going to be gnarly. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be awesome. And also it's Lego, which is just a bonus. So that's going to be really cool, and it will definitely keep you. Colin just hurt my brain. I'm sorry, Liam. I'm sorry, man. I'm diving deep, man. I'm diving deep. When I get into Star Wars, man, I get really into Star Wars, and it doesn't help that that I'm involved in that area for a living. So it's like that 24/7. But yeah,
it's gonna go crazy.
A tiny bit. But yeah, so that's really all the major news this week. That happened this past week. There wasn't anything major that happened. But Star Wars Celebration's coming up. We're getting Kenobi soon. We're approaching. The new Lego Star Wars game comes out next week. Get ready to play that. That's gonna be awesome. We'll definitely be doing some level walkthroughs and on Twitch and everything. So check us out there. Yeah.
Side note,
Patreon.
Patreon.
Yeah.
But y'all want to real quick discuss the new Halo episode?
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, sure.
That's awesome. That was awesome, man. That was
it happens
awesome.
in the stars, and there's war. Yeah.
We actually so fun fact. We actually saw a Halo in Star Wars before we saw an actual Halo in the series.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
That happened.
In live action, like how crazy is that?
Lando was
like,
there.
But the Halo series was like, really? Star Wars beat us to the punch. Like, come on, man.
That's her name.
Yeah, because there's an episode in the Book of Boba Fett where you see the giant Halo.
So yeah, spoilers for the first Halo episode.
Are we really doing this? Okay.
Yeah, we're really doing this.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
well,
he takes off his helmet. What the heck?
They start with massacre. Oh man, that was
wild. I feel like the first 20 minutes was just, oh my gosh, and there were so many callbacks
when they were like, those kids were like getting high, and then one of them just explodes.
Wow, that put me through a whole loop. And she got splattered, and I was like, "This is real life."
I thought the show was. I didn't think it was going to be like that intense. I thought it was going to be, maybe a little bit lighter to bring more people in, but they just dived in, man. Like,
yeah, we're used to Disney Plus material.
It was the Covenant just going in and just killing people. And there was that one guy that just opened the door, and I thought like Master Chief would like come in and save him the last minute, but he killed all of them. I was like, oh my gosh! I was like, dude, no. Yeah, that was pretty intense. And then you get past the 20 minutes, and it's a little bit slow. We kind of dive deeper into the political side of Halo, which I never thought we would. Well, we did.
It was like episode 1 all over again. Of Star Wars.
Okay, Liam, I had this whole plan out.
God dang it.
With like Liam? Max Rebo being said near the end. If you want the cookie, you gotta be patient. All right? If you want that Easter egg, you gotta be patient. So you can't make comments like that. Come on. God. But
what the heck?
But yeah, no, I thought it was good. Was not expecting, again, I think we said spoilers in the beginning of when we started talking about Halo for some reason. That he takes off his helmet. Now the reason why that it's very controversial right now about that, because of he's never taken off his helmet in the games. But the show is not canon to the games.
It's a reverse Mandalorian.
Yeah. And what's very interesting is the interesting take that they took was when we're playing Halo, we're picturing ourselves, the gamer, as Master Chief, right? Like when we're playing the game. But now that we're watching the show, we can just, enjoy it and not worry about trying to get through levels. And we are no longer playing as Master Chief. Master Chief is his own person now in the show. So
it's also kind of like with Halo, you would die constantly depending on what difficulty level you're on. And when you're watching Halo, it's like you're watching legendary level and he never dies. So that's why it's that intense.
It's a good way to put it, man.
Like, and again, in game, you could die as many times as you want, but this guy can't and won't, and he's getting put up against the worst or legendary level. And like that's why the intensity is just so utterly high. And like what Colin said, where we like reveal his face early so that you could focus on the plot and the storyline more and not involve yourself as much. But they also put you in that first person where you're inside the helmet, just like you see in the video game. So they like want you to be familiar with it, but you are not it.
You also hear the sounds too, which really, really
like off. The shield, like boop 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 boop. Oh,
yeah.
I know that sound.
The day that we see an episode of where he shoots a grunt in the head and the confetti comes out and we hear "Yay!" I will be like, okay, all right, this is way too much. All right.
Or there's that one scene where he lost his weapon and then he goes up to one of the other Spartans and the Spartan gives him his gun. I was like, he does that in the game. He just takes other people's guns when he doesn't have
There
one.
was so many callbacks to the game, like within that 20 minutes. Like all of it was happening at once. Now I'm just like, what other Easter eggs are we going to get in the show?
I was like,
game?
I've never done a
somersault
flip in that like that in the video game. I want to know that movie.
That was a cool entrance though. That was a cool entrance. Like he lands the like
superhero landing.
The person in charge sees him. He's like a Spartan, and he starts shooting at him. And Master Chief just does like a cool flip and he just kills the other guy, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, I trust him. You know, he saved my life." And then he later gets killed, and we're just like, man. I mean, I kind of saw that coming, but I was like, he was advertised in the trailer as being involved, like a decent amount. So I don't know. I think the show would definitely take a twist in the Halo like series that we've never seen before. Like
it's a
throughout the
story.
Halo games and everything.
Yeah, like we saw the villain as like a human. We're initially supposed to think that.
Her
I'm
character
already
is going to be
confused.
her character is going to be interesting, but apparently she was rescued by the Covenant when she was younger, and they wanted to have a human in the ranks so then they could kind of decipher the humans and understand their weaknesses and stuff. So I kind of think that they're making that human like that girl think that that she's in the position that she is, but she's really not.
I think we just spoiled it for Liam here.
Hey, we actually did say spoilers, man. So sorry, Liam, but that's on you. But that's also
what you get for bringing up Max Rebo.
Yeah. That's also karma for trying to get the Max Rebo.
Yeah, sorry.
Liam, that's what you get for being a Patreon. That's
Liam, how
loyal.
dare you? How dare you send?
I think we need to send Liam something in the mail now.
Yeah. We can send him the first episode.
One
We can send him the first episode of Halo. But yeah, no. But cool. Yeah. So
send him the first episode of Halo.
Don't worry, I'll never remember. All right, cool. Sorry, Liam. But anyways, but yeah, Halo was cool. It will be cool to see in the future. Let's dive back into Star Wars. I can't believe we just did that. That's just so funny.
We needed a mental side note, all right?
Yeah.
We needed a break from one pop culture to another.
Hey, it's a war in the stars, so
yeah, I guess you're not wrong. But there is a lot to look forward to, and of just being a nerd in general this year. There's so much going on. There's new stuff from DC. There's Star Wars Celebration. I'll get back to it. Don't worry. I will backtrack to it. Star Wars Celebration. No, there will be there's stuff from DC. There's stuff from Marvel. There's stuff from Harry Potter. There's stuff from Avatar, Star Wars, Star Trek. Like this Marvel? Is like the year to be a nerd. Like and Sonic. There's a new Sonic movie. Oh. It's like all right, cool. So and
Knuckles.
Yeah.
For a guy named Knuckles, you really don't know how to punch.
Do you? Yeah. No. But no, it will be a great year to be a nerd. And this is a big year for Star Wars as well because it's like Star Wars is back. We have a lot more projects coming out this year. No movie. It's weird not having a Star Wars movie come out because we're so used to it.
You've been privileged.
Why did you make that face, David?
You're like, no movie?
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm at the point where I think TV series are better than movies just because we get more content.
Which I think we've talked about it, but honestly, I miss the feeling of sitting in the theater, like of having us in the theater, like for the Rise of Skywalker. Like how cool was that? That all of us were there, and when it was one of the coolest experiences.
Well, it's not like a movie theater, but I can't help because my apartment complex has this private home theater if you want to like get the feeling. But that I can make you some poppy corn and we can make it a thing. Yeah. We'll do that for when Kenobi comes out. You'll just come over every time.
We will be in California for the first episode.
The first one, but like
and hopefully for the second episode.
We'll watch it on our phones.
We will be at the panel.
3 through whatever.
Yeah.
It would be cool if at the Kenobi panel they show us that first episode before the panel, and then they do the panel.
Oh,
and they're like, one more thing. We have the second episode.
Do you remember watching the trailer with everyone, David? Like of the Rise of Skywalker trailer? That was all right. So I remember watching The Last Jedi one, and that was cool. But the Rise of Skywalker one was the one where everyone was so hyped up, and then then we hear the Emperor's laugh, and then Ian McDermott came out like of the side of the stage and was like, "Roll it again," and everyone flipped out. That was one of the coolest. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I want something like that. I want something like that. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm excited, guys. It's gonna be a great year. On Wednesday, we are gonna have another special guest. David, would you like to announce who it is?
Yes, we can confirm now that Josh Robert Thompson will be our special guest on Wednesday, and hilarity, I can't speak, will most likely ensue. He's one of the funniest guys in the world, has the best George Lucas impersonation in the world. He's done a ton of George Lucas deepfakes. You've probably seen him online, and he does just a slew of other celebrity impressions like Jeff Goldblum, Morgan Freeman. He does a great Liam Neeson. I mean, it's so many obscure people too that I don't think anyone's ever seen real impressions from. Like Carl Sagan, he's done impressions of him. But yeah, he'll be our guest on Wednesday, and it should be a really funny podcast. So yeah. And of course, our Galen Howard podcast is still up, and of course,
that was a lot of fun. That was really, really cool. I think Matt was on the road at that point for that podcast.
Yeah, I was like 2 hours from your apartment when you were recording this.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a fun one. He was really nice. I know Mason was just living the dream there because of he wants to be an actor. But yeah, no, it was super cool. So definitely check out that episode. There are more special guests to come, and there's a lot more Star Wars stuff to come. So especially on our Patreon, we have something big in the works, and Matt's working on a segment right now as well. So stay tuned for that. Please go follow us. Yes, thank you, Liam. The episode was awesome. But yeah, no, please go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, all of our social media platforms. Go follow us. We have our own website. As soon as David pulls it up,
it's that
StuffPodcastNetwork.com. Go check it out there. We're also on Patreon. Please go on Apple Podcasts and give us a review, 5 stars. And just keep listening to us. Hey, I was reading the thing, man. I said it right there. If you want, man. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But yeah. So we are going to be changing our tiers on Patreon. There will be more content on there. I don't know why Matt just made a crying noise, but it's a good thing.
Oh, okay. Tears, bro.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, it's a good thing. But yeah,
We're crying tears of joy.
There is going to be a lot of cool and new updates on there and more interactive things with our listeners. And Josh is helping design that, so kudos to Josh. He has been a big help with that. And yeah, so look towards the future. David just gave a sneak peek. Very cool. And may the force be with you. I'm Colin.
I'm David.
And I'm Matt.
And Max Rebo lives. Awesome. May the force be with you.
Always.
I love you.